1. I already know that. The death of growth. When someone shares an idea or insight, do you ever catch yourself saying, "I already know that"? This simple phrase is intellectual kryptonite. The moment those words leave your mouth, you've closed the door on growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake, I'll gladly change." Think about that. The most powerful man in the ancient world embraced correction while most of us resisted. Here's the truth. Saying, "I already know that," doesn't make you look smart. It signals arrogance and insecurity. The truly intelligent person understands they don't know everything, and that's their superpower. Next time you hear information you think you know, ask yourself, what new angle could I discover here? Replace "I already know that" with "that reminds me of," to build connections rather than walls. Ever notice how the emptiest vessels make the loudest sound? Don't be that person. Stay curious, stay humble. 2. It's not my fault. Excuses are chains. It's not my fault. 4 words that might feel like a shield but actually function as chains. Every time you utter this phrase, you surrender your power to circumstances beyond your control. Epictetus, born into slavery, yet becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, declared, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." When you blame others for your situation, you hand them the keys to your life. Think about 2 people facing identical setbacks. One says, "It's not my fault. The economy, my boss, my upbringing is to blame." The other says, "This is challenging, but what can I do about it?" Who do you think moves forward? Replace "it's not my fault" with "what's within my control right now." Then focus exclusively on those elements. Write down 3 specific actions you can take today, regardless of external circumstances. Remember, responsibility isn't blame, it's power. The moment you take ownership, you gain control. 3. I don't care, the illusion of strength. "I don't care" might sound tough, but it's often the biggest lie we tell ourselves and others. It's what we say when we care too much but fear vulnerability. Stoicism isn't about not caring, it's about caring appropriately. Marcus Aurelius never said "I don't care" about the empire's problems. Instead, he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." When you proudly declare you don't care, you're often revealing 3 things: fear of emotional pain, avoidance of responsibility, or artificial superiority. None reflect true strength. When tempted to say "I don't care," pause and ask, is this truly something I should invest no energy in? Or am I protecting myself from potential disappointment? Replace it with, "I'm choosing to focus elsewhere right now," if that's genuinely the case. True power isn't pretending things don't matter, it's knowing what does and acting accordingly. 4. I'll do it later, the betrayal of discipline. 4 deadly words that have killed more dreams than almost any others. I'll do it later. This simple phrase is a time thief, stealing your future success one postponement at a time. The Stoics viewed time as our most precious and non-renewable resource. Seneca wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short. Life is long if you know how to use it." The greatest self-deception is believing your future self will somehow be more disciplined than your present self. If you can't do it today, what magical power will you possess tomorrow? Implement the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. For larger tasks, commit to just 5 minutes. Once started, you'll often continue. Replace later with now in your vocabulary. Remember, procrastination isn't just about time management. It's about pain management. Confront the discomfort now and free yourself from its grip. 5. That's not fair, the Stoics' view on justice. That's not fair. We've all said it. This phrase feels justified, but actually keeps us trapped in frustration and powerlessness. The Stoics understood a fundamental truth. Life isn't fair, and it never will be. Fairness is a human construct, not a natural law. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you complain about fairness, you waste energy on what you can't change instead of focusing on what you can. You give away your power to external circumstances. When faced with unfairness, ask, what can I learn from this? And how can I respond effectively? Replace, that's not fair with, this is the reality. How will I handle it? The world doesn't reward those who complain about injustice. It rewards those who overcome it. 6. I can't help it. Why self-control is everything. I can't help it might be the most disempowering phrase in human language. It transforms you from agent to object, from doer to done to. Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. When you say, I can't help it, you're declaring yourself a slave to impulses, emotions, and habits. The core of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can and cannot control. Your reactions, decisions, and words always fall within your control, even when it doesn't feel that way. When tempted to say, I can't help it, pause and ask, is this really beyond my control, or am I avoiding responsibility? Replace it with, this is difficult, but I'm choosing how to respond. Remember, between stimulus and response lies your power, your freedom to choose. Don't surrender it so easily. 7. I deserve more. The trap of entitlement. I deserve more. This phrase feels empowering, but actually keeps you trapped in resentment and inaction. The Stoics believed that entitlement is poison to the mind. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then be thankful. When you believe you're entitled to success, recognition, or resources without earning them, you create a mindset that waits for the world to deliver rather than working to create value. Replace I deserve more with how can I create more value. Focus on contribution rather than acquisition. Ask yourself, what can I give that others would gladly reward? True satisfaction comes not from getting what you think you deserve, but from earning what you truly value. 8. This always happens to me. How language shapes reality. This always happens to me. With these 5 words, you're not just describing your reality, you're creating it. The Stoics understood that perception shapes experience. When you tell yourself something always happens, you program your mind to notice every instance that confirms this belief while filtering out contradictory evidence. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where your words literally shape what you experience. You become trapped in a narrative of your own creation. Ban absolutes like always and never from your vocabulary for 1 week. Replace this always happens to me with this happened this time. What can I learn? Track positive experiences that contradict your negative narratives. Your words are more than descriptions. They're instructions to your subconscious. Choose them with intention and care. 9. You should listen to me. Why true authority is silent. You should listen to me. The moment these words leave your mouth, you've lost genuine influence. The Stoics knew that true authority doesn't need to announce itself. Marcus Aurelius advised, be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in few words. Those who demand respect rarely deserve it. Those who earn respect rarely demand it. Real influence comes from wisdom demonstrated, not authority claimed. Instead of telling people they should listen to you, ask questions that lead them to their own insights. Replace declarations with curiosity. Practice listening twice as much as you speak. Remember, the most powerful person in any room is often the quietest, observing, learning, and speaking only when they have something valuable to contribute. 10. They made me angry. The Stoics' response to provocation. They made me angry. This common phrase reveals a fundamental misunderstanding about emotions that keeps you eternally vulnerable to manipulation. Epictetus demolished this illusion with perfect clarity. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. No one can make you angry without your participation and consent. When you believe others control your emotions, you hand them the remote control to your internal state. You become a puppet whose strings anyone can pull. When provoked, pause and silently count to 10. Replace, they made me angry with, I'm choosing how to respond to this. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace of mind? The moment you take ownership of your emotional responses, you become impossible to manipulate and infinitely more powerful. 11th, I'm a victim, the final barrier to power. I'm a victim. Perhaps no phrase cripples human potential more completely than this one. While acknowledging genuine harm is important, identifying as a victim transforms a temporary experience into a permanent identity. The Stoics faced slavery, exile, and death, yet refused to surrender their agency. Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Victimhood is seductive because it offers sympathy without demanding responsibility. But the price is your power, potential, and peace of mind. Replace I'm a victim with I've experienced this challenge, and here's how I'm responding. Focus immediately on what you can control. Ask, what strength might I develop through this difficulty? Remember, you can acknowledge injustice without letting it define you. Your response to adversity, not the adversity itself, determines your destiny. Your words create your world. They program your mind, influence others' perceptions, and ultimately shape your reality. By eliminating these 11 phrases from your vocabulary, you're not just changing how you speak, you're transforming how you think. It's about mastering yourself. It's about responding rather than reacting, choosing words with intention, and taking complete ownership of your life. So which of these phrases do you use most often? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more.